In this video, I'm going to explain how an ISA works, specifically how a stocks and shares ISA works, and also give you an update on my Freetrade Dividend Growth portfolio. So what is an ISA and why do people use them? An ISA is an individual savings account which is exempt from tax. Specifically with a stocks and shares ISA, it is exempt from capital gains and dividend tax, whereas on a normal investment account, you would be taxed. So how many ISAs can you have? Well, firstly, there's 4 different types of ISAs. There's a cash ISA, stocks and shares ISA, innovative finance ISA, and a lifetime ISA. If you're interested in learning about a lifetime ISA, click the top right of the video to see a video detailed and explaining a lifetime ISA. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about stocks and shares ISA. You can only open one of each ISA in a tax year. So an ISA actually has an allowance because being exempt from tax is a bit overpowered to say the least. So the annual allowance as of 20 to 21 is £20,000. This is subject to change in the future, and the £20,000 can be spread across any of the different ISA types. Also worth noting that the dividends and capital gains that you get in your stocks and shares ISA will not count towards the annual allowance, and this number of 20,000 will reset each tax year and it does not roll over. So once more, what is a dividend growth portfolio? Well, it's a portfolio in which I invest in dividend companies that are looking to steadily increase their dividend. So in the long term, I'm going to have a very high dividend portfolio and high cash flow. And what are my goals from investing in this method? Well, I want financial independence. I'd like the ability to withdraw from this portfolio in the future and have a steady income. I'd also like to beat the market, hence why I'm not investing in index funds, because whilst yes, you'll follow the market, you won't necessarily beat the market. And if you think that you can outperform the market, then an index fund doesn't really do that for you. So what's happened as of the 15th of April in the stock markets? Well, as you can see, the stocks have actually plummeted. I think we're down about 7 or 8% overall in the FTSE 350 as a whole, and it looks like the stock market is heading towards a double bottom or potentially worse. A double bottom is a second drop, similar to that of the first one, however it could go deeper. And this could potentially be far worse, and therefore I'm going to consistently pound cost average into the market each week. So why have the stocks plummeted? Well, no one really knows that, but I'd like to make a guess. As the quarter is finished, earnings reports are being released. Big companies such as BlackRock, which is a global investment management company from America, released their earnings report on Thursday. So there's likely going to be a lot of bad news. Whereas the stock market, I believe, is priced in for bad news. I don't think it's ready to expect the bad news, and it does create a lot of value in the market. So I'm looking to capitalize off of that. It's also worth noting that China are releasing their gross domestic product report on Friday, and this contains the industrial production, retail sales, and potential job losses and unemployment. And so this could also lead to a further drop in the market. If you're enjoying the video so far and you'd like to get into investing, click the subscribe button and also sign up for Freetrade using my link in the description and get a free share valued up to £200 when you fund the account. Click the link below. Thank you. So how is my Freetrade dividend portfolio reacting? Well, it's certainly a lot more volatile than the market. So far, I've dropped a considerable amount more than the market. It means I've got more value that I can buy. As these stocks have dropped further, I can purchase them at cheaper prices, and then I expect them to grow even further than the market. I've also been averaging as the markets have been dropping, and I've been depositing £50 into certain shares. So what are the main positions I've been buying? Well, there's Aviva, Royal Dutch Shell, and Red Row. These 3 companies are the ones I see of highest value at the moment, as currently their share prices are impacted the most on the stock market, and the companies themselves are weathered and ready and can easily survive this situation. So what do I currently have? I have 93 shares of Aviva at £2.60 per share, 49 shares of Red Row at £4.12 per share. I have 13 shares of Royal Dutch Shell at £14.32 per share. I have 2 shares of Unilever at £41.50 per share. I also have 8 shares of National Grid at £8.88 per share. And lastly, I have a speculative position on Carnival Cruises, which I only have one share of, and it's already lost £1 of its investment, even though it was only a £9 investment in the first place. So this has dropped the most in the portfolio, and this is something that won't be paying dividends until next few years at least. So this is more of a capital growth stock for the time being, but I do plan to hold it in the long term. So I believe that they will reintroduce dividends and survive this pandemic crisis. So I will eventually be allocating more to that position, but at the time being, I think they're a bit too risky for my liking. So I'm going to prioritize Redrow, Aviva and Shell. Interestingly, using Simply Wall Street, I've tracked my portfolio and it says my fair value of all of the stocks I've bought combined is actually £2,200. And considering that I only have about £600 invested, that's quite impressive. That means that I've got a very good value on my investments, and hopefully in the future it will some point see that value. However, I shouldn't expect this in the near short term, as well, the markets could be down for a while, and also the markets never always reflect a fair price. It's just nice to look at to see the fact that my investments would be valued higher by analysts. The same as last week's report, I still haven't received dividends, and this is understandable. I am patiently awaiting Shell's ex-dividend date when they announce it at the start of May. If you've enjoyed the video so far and you're interested in improving your financial skills and investment knowledge, click the subscribe button and also click the video that shows which stocks I'm buying in April 2020. I'm Osborne Foreman. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.